You will never become rich by chasing money, and the sooner you accept this brutal truth, the sooner you can begin to understand the actual nature of power. Everything you have been taught about prosperity is a carefully constructed lie, designed to keep you trapped in a state of perpetual scarcity, running on a hamster wheel that leads nowhere but to exhaustion. I know that this statement creates a resistance within you, a defensive reflex that whispers, "I am wrong," but I ask you to silence that voice for a moment and look at the reality of your own life and the world around you. The relentless pursuit of wealth as a primary goal is the very mechanism that pushes it away, creating a psychological void that can never be filled by external objects. What I am about to reveal to you by the end of this video is so powerful, so radically different from the conventional wisdom of the masses, that 99% of people who hear it will reject it simply because their minds are not yet ready to hold such a volatile truth. This is the specific psychological mechanism that allowed John D. Rockefeller to amass a fortune that remains unprecedented to this day. A secret that has nothing to do with investment strategies or business acumen. If you are ready to step out of the matrix of common thinking and step into the realm of the elite few who understand the hidden laws of reality, type the word evolve in the comments right now. Subscribe to this channel and activate the notifications, because only those who stay until the very final second will receive the key that unlocks the cage of their financial existence. This journey is for the lucid minds only, for those who dare to see. To understand why your current approach is doomed to fail, we must descend into the depths of history and philosophy, into a time when the concept of wealth was inextricably linked to virtue and character, not merely accumulation. In ancient Greece, Aristotle distinguished between oikonomia, the management of the household for the good of life, and chrematistics, the art of acquiring wealth for its own sake. The great philosophers warned us that the obsession with chrematistics leads to the destruction of the soul, yet this is the exact path our modern society has normalized and glorified. Over the centuries, we have severed the link between value and values, forgetting that money is merely a receipt for service rendered, a shadow cast by the substance of true creation. We have forgotten the existential truth that one cannot reap the fruit without nurturing the root, and instead, we spend our lives trying to steal the fruit from trees we never planted. This amnesia is the wound of our age, a collective trauma that keeps us in a state of frantic, unproductive motion. But history is not silent. It whispers the secrets of those who mastered the game, those who understood that the external world is merely a reflection of the internal state. And now, we must plunge into the first dangerous principle, the one that crumbles the foundation of your current reality. The first principle you must grasp is the law of reversed effort, a concept that the philosopher Alan Watts articulated with devastating precision. He taught us that the more you pursue a sensation, the further it recedes from you. If you try to float, you will sink. But if you try to sink, you will float. When you chase money with the energy of neediness, with the desperate vibration of, "I need this to be okay," you are broadcasting a signal of poverty to the universe. You are telling the world that you lack, that you are incomplete, and reality, acting as a mirror, simply reflects that lack back to you. Think about your own life for a moment. How many times have you chased a romantic partner only to watch them run away? Yet the moment you became content in your solitude, they appeared. The economy operates on the exact same psychological frequencies. Money is energy, and energy flows towards abundance and stagnates around neediness. Your desperation acts as a repulsion field, an invisible shield that blocks the flow of prosperity you are trying so hard to grab. You are essentially pushing water uphill, exhausting yourself in the process while making no progress. The world does not give you what you want, it gives you who you are. And if you are vibrating at the frequency of not enough, the law of attraction, which is actually a law of resonance, must deliver to you more experiences of not enough. But this is only the beginning of the trap, because the wound goes much deeper than just your actions. It is embedded in your identity. The second point, which is even more painful to confront, is that your ego is using money as a substitute for the validation you are too afraid to seek elsewhere. You do not want the millions in your bank account just for the survival and comfort they provide. Deep down, you want them because you believe they will finally prove your worth to a world that ignored you. You believe that wealth is the trophy that says, "I am enough, I am safe, I am superior." This is the great psychological trap of the modern era, the conflation of net worth with self-worth. By attaching your self-esteem to your bank balance, you are putting your happiness on a roller coaster that you cannot control. You are telling your subconscious mind that you are not acceptable right now, in this moment, as you are. You are postponing your self-love until a future condition is met, which is a form of spiritual suicide. The universe cannot give wealth to someone who uses it as a crutch for their own insecurity, because the system is designed to liberate you, not to enable your delusions. Rockefeller himself famously said, "I would rather hire a man with enthusiasm than a man who knows everything." Enthusiasm comes from a place of fullness, whereas the desperate pursuit of money comes from a place of emptiness. You are trying to fill a bucket that has a hole in the bottom, and no amount of external water can ever fill it if you do not first patch the hole within yourself. But this realization leads us to a terrifying paradox that you must navigate if you wish to survive. This paradox is the third point. To receive everything, you must be willing to lose everything. This sounds like madness to the rational mind, but it is the core existential truth taught by the Stoics and the masters of every tradition. The tighter you grip the sand, the faster it slips through your fingers. If you make money the most important thing in your life, the universe will test you by taking everything else away, and eventually, it will take the money too, just to show you that you were chasing a ghost. The man who is afraid of losing his wealth is a slave to it. The man who has detached himself from the outcome is its master. This does not mean you should not care about success. It means you must care about it differently. You must hold your desires with open palms, not clenched fists. Most people are playing the game of wealth with the energy of a hunter who is starving, and that fear makes them sloppy, short-sighted, and repulsive. The wealthy minority play the game with the energy of a creator who is painting a masterpiece. They are focused on the work, on the service, on the art, and they trust that the harvest will come in due season. When you shift your focus from "what can I get" to "what can I give," you instantly deactivate the repulsion field of scarcity and activate the attraction field of value. But wait, we are about to cross a threshold, and I must warn you that what lies ahead requires you to let go of the last remnants of your victimhood. If you are still here, watching this, it is because you are not like the others. You have proven that you have the stamina to look into the abyss of your own conditioning and not turn away. While the majority of the world is scrolling through endless distractions, seeking dopamine hits to numb their quiet desperation, you are here, doing the hard work of deconstructing your own mind. You are no longer part of the sleeping masses. You are beginning to wake up. I am giving you this knowledge freely, peeling back the layers of societal programming that have held you back for decades. And in return, I ask only one thing. If this message is resonating with the truth buried deep inside you, give this video a thumbs up. It is a small action, but it is a signal to the algorithm that this truth deserves to be heard by others who are ready. But do not think for a second that we have reached the summit. We are only at the base camp, and the air is about to get very thin indeed. We are now entering the part that only the truly hungry minds ever reach, the layer of reality where the great secret lies hidden. You have to understand that Rockefeller did not become the richest man in history by chasing dollars. He became rich by chasing order. He was obsessed with efficiency, with organization, with removing waste. He looked at the chaotic oil industry and did not see money. He saw a broken system that needed fixing. His secret was a form of disinterested passion. He was so incredibly focused on the quality and efficiency of his operations that the money was a mere byproduct, a trailing indicator of his mastery. This is where the 99% fail. They focus on the trailing indicator instead of the leading one. They stare at the scoreboard instead of watching the ball. If you want to be rich, you must fall in love with the process of creating value, not the reward of it. You must become obsessed with serving humanity with such excellence that they have no choice but to pay you. This is the shift from the consumer mindset, "how much can I get?" to the producer mindset, "how much can I contribute?" The universe rewards the contributor, not the extractor. When you make your work a sacrament, a form of service to the divine, money flows to you not as a goal, but as grace. But there is a dark side to this knowledge that we must address, a trap that awaits the arrogant. The fifth point is the danger of the "I know" mind. As you absorb these truths, you might feel a sense of superiority, a feeling that you have unlocked the secret and now you just have to wait for the cash to arrive. This is the ego hijacking the teaching. If you think you know, you have already stopped learning. The moment you think you have arrived, you start to decline. Rockefeller remained a student until the day he died, constantly analyzing, constantly optimizing, constantly humbling himself before the vastness of what he did not know. The curse of the seeker is the illusion of arrival. You must remain an eternal beginner, approaching every day with the curiosity of a child. The moment you start acting like you have it all figured out, the market will punish you, reality will humble you, and the money will evaporate. True wealth requires a state of perpetual flow, a constant adaptation to the ever-changing river of life. You cannot dam the river and expect it to stay fresh. You must become the river itself. This requires a dissolution of the rigid identity you have built. You must be willing to die to who you were yesterday in order to be reborn as who you need to be tomorrow. This is the terrifying freedom of the transformation path. You are now part of the select circle of those who know. You are no longer looking at the world through the eyes of a victim. You are seeing the code behind the matrix. You understand now that your lack of wealth is not a failure of capability, but a failure of consciousness. You have seen that the chase was the trap, that the scarcity was a self-fulfilling prophecy, and that the only way out is to transcend your own ego. The feeling in your chest right now, that mixture of excitement and fear, is the feeling of your old paradigm crumbling. This is not comfortable. Growth never is. You are standing on the edge of a cliff, and to fly, you must have the courage to let go of the branch. The secret I am about to share with you is the culmination of everything, the master key that Rockefeller held in his mind. It is the reason he said, "I had no ambition to make a fortune. Mere money-making has never been my goal." Do you understand the power of that statement? It sounds insane to the modern mind, but it is the ultimate truth. He did not make money his goal. He made God his goal. He made service his goal. He made order his goal. Because he did not care about the money, he was the only one capable of handling it. This is the great cosmic irony. Money flees from those who need it and seeks out those who do not. By becoming indifferent to the outcome, by becoming a master of your internal state, you become a magnet for external abundance. But are you truly ready to let go of the chase? Are you ready to stop being the hunter and become the king? Wait, do not miss what is coming next. This final revelation is the piece of the puzzle that changes everything. Most people will close this video now and go back to their old habits, but you are not most people. The final secret is so powerful that it can rewire your entire nervous system in an instant. Here it is. Rockefeller understood that money is a living entity, a form of energy that demands to be circulated. Those who hoard it out of fear kill its energy. Those who circulate it out of abundance multiply its energy. He saw himself not as an owner of wealth, but as a conduit. He was the pipeline through which money flowed to build hospitals, universities, and foundations. He realized that his purpose was to be a channel for the divine intelligence of the universe to improve the human condition. And because his channel was open and clear, because he was not clogged with the debris of greed and fear, the pressure of the universe forced massive amounts of wealth through him. You are struggling because you are a dam, trying to hold on to every drop, creating stagnation. You must become a river. You must open your hands and your heart. You must shift from "how do I get" to "how do I flow?" This is the ultimate secret of the ages. Now that you know, you can never unknow. But knowledge without action is merely hallucination. You have the map, but you must still walk the treacherous terrain. To anchor this profound shift in your reality, to move from intellectual understanding to visceral embodiment, you must practice specific, rigorous techniques. I am going to give you 5 powerful rituals that, if applied with discipline, will dismantle your scarcity programming and install the abundance operating system. The first technique is the deathbed visualization. Every morning, before you touch your phone or engage with the world, close your eyes and visualize yourself at the end of your life. See your old dying self looking back at this very moment. Ask your dying self, what was important? Did the money matter? What did I regret? You will instantly find that the chase for money was meaningless, but the love you gave and the impact you made were everything. This perspective shift kills the urgency of the ego and aligns you with what truly matters. By starting your day from the end, You reverse engineer your life for meaning, which is the true parent of wealth. The second technique is the service audit. Take a piece of paper and write down exactly how you serve the world. Be specific. What problem do you solve? Whose life do you make easier? If you cannot answer this clearly, you have no right to ask for money. Money is a vote of thanks for service rendered. If your service is poor, your income will be poor. Refine your service. Fall in love with the problem you are solving for others. Make your service so exceptional that money becomes a non-issue because the value is undeniable. The third technique is called the release of the outcome. Whenever you feel anxiety about money, or when you are working on a project and worrying about the result, consciously say to yourself, I release the need for this to turn out a certain way. I focus on the action, not the fruit. This is a spiritual surrender. It stops the energy leakage of worry. When you worry, you are praying for what you don't want. By releasing the outcome, you reclaim your energy and direct it back into your creativity and presence. This is the essence of the Rockefeller mindset. Do the work perfectly and let the result take care of itself. The fourth technique is the identity shift ritual. You must burn the image of yourself as the struggler or the chaser. Every night, write down a new affirmation of who you are becoming. I am a creator of immense value. I am a conduit for abundance. I am a steward of resources. Repeat this until the feeling becomes real in your body. You cannot act your way into a new way of being. You must act your way there. But assuming the identity of the wealthy, wise creator now, you subconsciously alter every decision you make, leading you inevitably to the results of that identity. The fifth and final technique is the gratitude overflow. Poverty is an inability to perceive the abundance that is already present. Every single night, write down 10 things you are grateful for. Do not repeat items. Force yourself to find new abundance every day. As you train your brain to scan the world for evidence of abundance, you physically alter your reticular activating system. You will stop seeing lack and start see opportunity everywhere. Gratitude is the multiplier of all things. It is the frequency that aligns you with the source of all wealth. You have reached the end of this transmission. We have traversed the landscape of the mind, from the historical errors of crematistics to the personal prisons of the ego, and finally to the liberating secret of Rockefeller's stewardship. You are no longer the same person who pressed play on this video just a few minutes ago. A seed has been planted in your consciousness, a seed of truth that will grow and eventually shatter the glass ceiling you have lived beneath for so long. You have seen that the chase was the trap, that the need was the repeller, and that the only way to receive is to become a perfect channel. I want you to take a moment and really feel this. This is your turning point. The question is not whether you can be rich. The question is, are you brave enough to let go of your poverty identity? Are you ready to join the tribe of the lucid minds, those who see beyond the illusion? If this message has touched a part of your soul that has been sleeping for too long, hit the like button right now. Let it be a contract with yourself that you will never go back to sleep. And tell me in the comments, which of the 5 techniques will you start practicing today? Your declaration is your first step toward power. Share this video with someone who is lost in the chase, for we save ourselves by saving others. The next video will reveal something even darker and more profound, the illusion of time and why you never actually have any of it. Until then, remember, do not chase the wind. Become the sky.